So I'm over here talking to my algorithm, and I say, hey, algorithm. It says, yes, James, what do you want? I said, man, I'm having trouble with people watching some of this content because, you know, YouTube out here playing games. And it says, you need to do something that's evergreen. I said, what you mean? What is evergreen? It says evergreen. Every time somebody see it, it's brand new to them. And I said, well, algorithm, the only thing that I know that's always new to everybody is getting deep into the mystery and delving and unwinding the reality of the new world that we're moving into. And the algorithm said, that's a great idea. Let's come up with some topics. I said, no, I don't need your help. I ain't asked you for no help on no topics. Yeah. So right now, what we about to talk about is these things right here. They call smart cities. But you got to understand that the smart city is already started. Yeah. What you mean, DW? The sanctuary cities is the grandparents and the parents of the smart cities. And that's my intention. If you stick with me through this video and don't act like a little sucker, hit the like button and ride with me. And don't make me get in the car and come get you and be like, I'm going to get you, sucker. If you stick with me, you're going to understand that the fight over smart cities is really the fight over sanctuary cities is really the fight over smart cities. And I'm going to prove that to you. You want to know why? Because I'm a Stankonian. Hold on one second. We about to get to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. This don't make no sense whatsoever. Welcome to the Dark Waters channel, where we explore mysteries, figure out the truth, dive into politics, and anything else you want to know about. That's what we doing over here, baby. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm back. And I want to bring something to your attention. The one and only James Williams, Dark Waters, also known as the Stankonian, has a way of seeing kind of into the future. You develop this by talking to eyewitnesses and mentally lodging data points inside of your brain to where when you see something, you see the truth and the reality of it. So recently I've had some of you guys say, hey, DW, will you do videos on the Illuminati? And I don't think you guys understand. There is no such thing as the Illuminati anymore. Well, DW, there is an Illuminati. Now, there is, kind of the way you think, but it's not what you think it is. See, it's not hidden anymore. It's right out in the open. It's right in front of your face. So I don't need to cover the quote-unquote Illuminati. We need to cover what they said they was going to do and what they plan on doing and what they're doing. So the premise of this video is something I want you to understand. Smart cities, which is what everybody's, up in arms about, is the next phase of what's going on. But you missed the step. And I don't think you understand that you missed a step, baby. Everybody missed a step. Sanctuary cities are the parents of smart cities. Yeah. The sanctuary city is the mommy and the daddy of the smart city. Well, DW, what do you mean? I don't get it. Los Angeles is a what? Sanctuary city. And they burned down a what? Area in Los Angeles to build a what? A smart city. Well, GW, that don't make no sense. It makes all the sense in the world, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why sanctuary cities are the parents of smart cities is because in the sanctuary city is where you can pull in all the federal funding that you need to swing into being smart. So you had to have the sanctuary city first. Remember, in a couple of videos I explained to you, the last video I talked about the World Economic Forum. This is why I always come back to these people, which technically are the spokesmen of the Illuminati. I swung back to you and I told you, I said, hey man, they came up with a plan and they hatched a plan to crash economies and then send people forward out into the wilderness to migrate thousands of miles across seas and deserts and dry lands on terrible trips where they had their children in tow, riding on top of trains to get to the promised land of America. And then when it got to the promised land of America, There were certain cities that said, we welcome you. We welcome you. We welcome you. Remember? We are a sanctuary city under the Joe Biden administration, which in hindsight, the same Joe Biden administration, the same Joe Biden that got 81 million votes, the largest number of votes in the history of voting for president, which in hindsight now we know Elon Musk found 20 million people ages 100 to 300 that had social security numbers was on the voting rolls. Hold up, are you putting the pieces to the puzzle together? So just stick with me right here. Ride with me. We in the car. I need you to ride with me. We ride in the car. Just you with Dark Waters. You know, I'm taking you on a spin. You with the boss. So here we go. Here come our sanctuary cities. And the sanctuary city thing happened right as we had all these illegal aliens coming in. We're a sanctuary city. We're this. The election is stolen. Then here come the funding for the sanctuary cities. And now the next phase was started when you saw the people, and by the way, that part of Hawaii was a sanctuary city too. Go back and look. So we have the first test run. Bzz, bzz, bzz. You see blue rays, green rays coming out of the sky. Bzz, 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 bzz. Houses burning, people dying, people swimming in the water. And then when it's all over, you walk around and you look, and they're like, say, bro, how that house burnt and his car didn't burn? And how the grass not burnt, but the house is burnt. Man, we think this is a direct energy weapon. Duh. And so now we get to the next phase, which is Los Angeles. See the same thing. What is this saying when you take all these data points in the mind? You're like, bing, 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 bing. If I'm in a sanctuary city, I'm in danger. Bing, 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 bing. Because sanctuary cities are going to be the new smart cities. Bing, 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 bing. So the federal funding that was stolen, that Elon Musk is finding, was money that was set aside for multiple things, but more importantly, bing, 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 the development of smart cities. And then you wonder why certain governors losing their mind, certain mayors losing their mind. You wonder why the California governor, Gavin Newsom, is like, we need $40 billion, Mr. President, to, we're going to need $40 billion from you, sir, because, you know, California's suffering. And Trump is like, nah, dog. See, it's deeper than what you think it is, man. Hold on, get back. Where did he go? Get back, up, off of me. Back, up, off of me.
You need to know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't been. There'll be multiple shots. So you've got to have, for reasons to do with the healthcare more generally, but certainly for a pandemic or for things, you've got to have a proper digital infrastructure.
Naomi Wolf, thank you for joining us. Boy, you warned us about this, I think it was, I'm going to pick a random date. I think it was in 2020. That was Tony Blair yesterday. We had Noor bin Laden and Joe Allen on yesterday, because this is one of the more important of all the panels and all the talks at Davos. Naomi, it was a called shot by you. Tell us what Tony Blair laid out yesterday, ma'am.
Well, he laid out something that's been in their map since before the pandemic. They have planned for this digital infrastructure that would track everyone, everywhere, forever since the late 2010s. They planned a digital ID for Europe, some years ago. And what is obvious, and I made this case in the bodies of others and in this viral video you're referencing as well, the pandemic and the lockdowns and the only way out of lockdown, that's all pretext to lock people into this matrix, this digital matrix, which is the China-style social credit score. And they are not giving up. And you heard him say, and I hope you picked up the body language of these people now is fascinating. He's nervous. No one believes what they're saying anymore. He knows it's nonsense, but they're barreling ahead. You heard him say, futures will be multiple injections. Well, we know now the reason for the multiple injections of this. So they're determined to herd us into smart cities, into the Internet of Things, and into a healthcare-based rationale for a social credit system like China, where literally they can turn off as we see in China, they can turn off your credit card, they can turn off your savings, they can turn off your access to food, access to schooling, and they're not giving up. And this is the fight of our lifetimes.
Thank you, Naomi Wolf. Thank you, Naomi Wolf. I will say this. So, as we back out, I did show you guys this video about the colored version of the smart city, right? You do realize there's a colored version of a smart city. There's a smart city for people of color called a cognitive city. If you watch my videos, those who say, DW, I want you to cover the Illuminati, boy, I've been covering the Illuminati. Boy, I done dug into the Illuminati's business so deep, it's ridiculous. It's just not presented all scary and spooky, because ain't nothing scary and spooky about it. It's right in front of your face. That's why you got to tell them, back up, up off of me. Back up, up off of me. Better tell them back up off of you. Then I need you to understand. This is the brother who's been chosen to roll out the DEI version of a smart city. Man, I got my hands real dirty from messing with this here eraser and erasing people. Yeah, look how dirty my hands is. I done got my hands dirty. That's all right. Do a little dirt, we all right. So there's a DEI colored folks version of this city, but that's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for right now to show you before I go on to the next phase is, be quiet, computer. Stop identifying things to me. I need to show you what they're doing to the people right now with the FEMA camps. As Alex Jones talked about it. Watch this. Alex Jones, FEMA camp, Hawaii. How the hell you spell Hawaii? I don't know, but that works. Breaking exclusives. Homeowners devastated by manufactured Maui wildfires forced to live in FEMA camps and refuse permits to build again on their own land. Yes. Yes. Satan is here to destroy your land.
You see those tiny homes, row after row after row. Tiny homes. FEMA got those built, but they will not give permits to, and look at those. Those are like little sheds that you'd have in your garden. And this is in the middle of nowhere. Look at these ones. I think these ones actually may be made in China. Do you see? This is where the people in Maui have been placed.
And they've said they have no intention of ever letting them have their property now. And they're going to build all these high-rises, smart city, which they voted down the year before the magic fires.
And there's all sorts of crazy ideas, like having sort of a give it back to nature. There's some people worried that high-priced developers want to come in, take up the gorgeous land near the water. The main message is this: a year and a half in, and there's almost no houses that have been rebuilt, and none look likely. They're pushing the fire refugees up the hill to live in those shacks, to live in those garden sheds, when nothing, look at that. And nothing is moving down actually by the water. And my warning to LA is, if you let your Democrats and your bureaucrats run things, you will not be back in your Pacific Palisades land for years. In fact, the LA mayor just said it'll be 3 to 5 years. And Maui suggested it might even be longer. Alex, there really are FEMA camps in Maui. Yeah, look at that. We put our drone up to take a look. Imagine living there.
Nah. I think we laid some of the groundwork for you to understand where I'm going. Are you with me? Are you still with me? Or do I need to bring back the short bus because, you're like, this video's too long. I can't stand the 30-minute long video. I need a 7-minute video. I need a 9-minute video. I can't make a video for every length that everybody wants. So either you're going to ride with me or you're not going to ride with me. You know what I'm saying? Either you with me or you're not with me. I ain't going to say, if you're not with me, you against me. But what I'm saying is, stick with me. You understand? Watch this. The very first time something like this happened was Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina was the very first start of all of this. But see, it was designed to do the New Orleans Agreement. And that wasn't like, it was the test run for how to take over property and do gentrification after disaster. The plan wasn't to make it a smart city. Because quite frankly, you can't make New Orleans smart. I don't mean it in a negative way, like people are dumb. Ain't no way to make New Orleans smart. New Orleans is a party city. You go to New Orleans to behave dumb and do dumb things and get away with doing dumb things. You cannot make New Orleans a smart city. The economy is based on tourism, so you can't have cameras on every corner saying, "Oh, you're gonna lose your credit points and your social credit score is gonna drop because you were drinking in public." The mafia not gonna let that happen. So we're not having that. You understand? So that's not gonna happen in New Orleans. They can't do it. Too much real money being made there. It's not happening. So, but the plan for destruction and disaster and revamping and rebirthing was played out right in front of your face on TV in Hurricane Katrina as President Bush flew over the flooded land with people stranded on highways, and then the convention center. And then Kanye West came out and said, George Bush don't like black people. Remember that? Yeah, you remember that. All right. I just wanted to say that. Just wanted you to know why the Stankonian can see what he can see. And some people say, well, what do you know, Stankonian? You just be talking. I know exactly what the hell I'm talking about because I lived it and you didn't. Matter of fact, majority of the people in this nation have not lived through any type of disaster. Like the people in the South, like the people in Houston, in Galveston, in Lafayette, in New Orleans, in Mobile Bay, and all across the panhandle of Florida and all the way up the East Coast. You ain't dealt with it. You understand? You ain't dealt with it. You get sporadically, you get a tornado, boop, 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 jump up and down, get a snowstorm, ooh, it's cold. Brr, brr. But very few people get something to where you got to start all over. Completely. Whole city starting all over. And now we're seeing it. Why are we seeing it? Because sanctuary cities are designed to become smart cities. And they're telling you right here, right now, moving on to the next thing. Watch this. I need to make sure this is on the screen. Pull up. Quit playing with me. Pull up right now.
That was sort of the...
Stop it. Be quiet. Let me make sure it's on the screen. All right, watch this. I need you to see it. I want her little face to be on there too. Show your little crazy face. I don't like your face. Watch this. Come on. Come on, computer. Come on, computer. And see, the craziest thing is all these things are on Harvard's websites, and it's everywhere right in front of you. Like it's right there. I mean, it's literally right there. They do, I mean, hours and hours of talks on these things and presentations, and they're proud of the future that they're building. It's not hidden. That's why I say when people be like, DW, you gonna do something on the Illuminati? Ain't no Illuminati. It ain't hidden, and they damn sure ain't illuminated. They ain't got no light, no knowledge that you don't have. So hell no. That's the problem. We keep treating these people like they such a dominating force, falling into their psychological operations, going into fear. And then when our standard raises up, named Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance and RFK Jr., we all disrespect them. Hell no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no.
Question, well, how do we administer, how do we deal with this growing space? And with that, we saw a growth in digitalization. So technology today is front and center.
Look at this graph right here. Global smart city market. Now remember, 2018. Look at the. Can you see this graph? Can you see this graph? Many of y'all watch. I'm gonna make it bigger for y'all on the phone. Watch this. See this graph right here? You're gonna see where it shows 2018, 2019, 2020. What happens from 2020 to 2024? A hyper acceleration. So let me ask you a question. Who went in office in 2020? And what happened in 2020? The tail end of 2019 going into 2020. What year is it right now? 2027? Nah. 2026? Nah. It's 2025. Yeah. Election, November 2024. Yeah. Therefore, 4 years before that, who went in office? Sleepy Joe. And it coincides, right, with the time of Sleepy Joe going in office, accelerated growth. What it means is, where did all that money come from? You see, it's simple when you pay attention. It's super simple. So now watch this. When you see Donald J. Trump sitting there saying, I'm going to cut off federal funding to you if you don't do this, and you hear the media saying, oh, he's being mean to the people, he's being mean to about sports and gender and this and this. Even the tools that are being used, the people who say, I'm not sure if I'm a toaster or a blender, even they don't realize the overall plan. They don't know it. The plan is right in front of your face. And I'm going to go deeper. I'll go way, way deeper. It's actually the formula. You see, I can't say his name, but the guy who mentored me and taught me how to play chess is a brilliant man. And the one thing he taught me about playing chess was getting people consumed with their own consumption. When you get a man or woman consumed with their own consumption, you can do anything. And so what you have to do is get a crowd of people consumed with their own consumption. And each and every person likes to consume different things. So if I can get this group over here to get consumed with their own consumption, meaning their thought process, their ideas of what they believe the world should be, and get them off to the races, then get this other group off to the races, and get this other group off to the races, which is why you see these different categories of people who identify as toasters, people who identify as men who have babies, people who identify as I identify as an American citizen. All these different groups consumed with their own consumption of the things that they want, the things that they believe in, while you sit back and you say, while they doing all of that, my master plan is working. Yes, understand. My plan has been revealed. Now send the USAID money in. Now we will burn down their houses. Yes, and then we will take their land and we will construct our smart cities with their federal dollars. Yes, set the Palisades on fire. Yes, burn, baby, burn. DW, you so dramatic. Okay. Let's let the little strange face girl right here talk with a strange face. Let's let the strange face lady say what she's gonna say and watch.
In city administration and in governance. So you can see here a graph that shows the increase in the global smart city market. And again, this is a trend in the global north, but also increasingly in the global south. Now, if we look at all this from a human rights perspective, if we see that cities really have become important hubs.
I want you to look at this chart. You see this human rights cities chart? That's the same chart that was on the United States website, and it's the same chart that was on the World Economic Forum website. And it's all the same model. That is the ESG model. The same ESG model that BlackRock uses. But Dark Waters is dumb. Yeah, that damn Dark Waters, he's such a fraud. Yeah, that's some bitch. He went on Coast to Coast AM and told all those fake stories. Yeah, he think he's the best paranormal storyteller out there. That's some bitch there. He's a fraud. Then now he done moved over to that politics and he talking about that damn politics. He don't know what the hell he talking about. No, he don't know nothing. Yeah, he ain't never sat down and had lunch with Jim Carvell. He don't know none of them people. No, he don't know nobody. Yeah, you don't know nobody, Dark Waters. You've just done. You don't even have an engineering degree. You talking about you had a minor in physics. You work for the United States Space and Strategic Defense Command. He can't even say strategic. Bad. This is so simple. Evil is simple. Doing good is hard. Yeah. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Evil is simple. If you got any kind of intellect, being evil is real simple. So it's simple to see evil. Being good is hard, man. Yeah, it's hard to be a good person. Yeah, especially when you know where all the money is in the evil. That's why you got to trust Jesus. That's why that's my big homie, because without him, I eat all y'all alive.
For activity, human rights activity, if you think about, sanctuary cities, for example, like the discussion around migration in the US, if you think about changes in the way in which policing is happening, often, these kinds of approaches happen in cities.
Wait, why are we talking about sanctuary cities? I thought this was about smart cities. Because the sanctuary city is the foundation of the smart city. It's the grandparents, it's the parent of the smart city. You have to put all the laws in place for the smart city, but you use the sanctuary city to put it in place, and you use the illegals to put it in place. But go on with your strange face, girl.
So really, cities have become hubs for human rights activity, even though traditionally the actors in human rights are, states, right? If we think about it, human rights from a traditional point of view. So what we see today is really this localization of human rights in cities. So human rights are called to guide the local informed, participatory, and balance-seeking process. So local, while threats are often global, like think climate change, for example, they need to be addressed at the local level. Informed, the understanding of local circumstances, to confront some of these issues is particularly important. Participatory, meaning inclusion of the local population and the community in decision-making processes, multi-stakeholder processes, and so on. And again, sort of this balance seeking between different kinds of areas of focus, like economic versus social, environmental, political, and so on. So human cities really are today at the front and center of human rights development, I would say. Interestingly enough, in the literature, this is a relatively new phenomenon. Like, it's not as well studied. And there's sort of two narratives that we can distinguish. One is this idea of the rights in the city, or the human rights city movement. This basically came out of Europe for the most part. It's basically cities that incorporate the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and other types of documents at the city level. It's become pretty important. Like, there's the World Human Rights City Forum and so on, and mayors.
Shut up, strange face woman. Shut up. Did you hear what she just said? Because they're talking their own language, and sometimes you got to translate the language. She said, at the center of these cities is these human rights doctrines. All right. And so what they're saying is the city itself dictates what the rights of the humans in the city, according to its doctrine, are. And somebody may say, well, DW, that don't make no sense. Well, it makes all the sense in the world. Because in a Chinese smart city, they define what the right of the human is. So the city you live in will determine your right as a human being, not the nation that you live in. So watch this. The smart city inside the United States of America, which is going to be built in the Palisades of California, within the state of California, is its own fiefdom with its own government. And it does not respond to the federal government, which is why you see Donald Trump putting his foot up the behind of all the governors, saying, no, we the feds. And you ain't gonna get no federal funding. That's why he said it. He said, remember Governor Mills, who, by the way, turns out is Mr. Mills? He told Mr. Mills, no. You gonna cut the men out of women's sports, or you not gonna get no federal funding. And Mr. Mills said, well, I'm gonna follow my state law. And he says, okay, well, you ain't gonna get no federal funding. And Mr. Mills says, well, I'll see you in court. He says, that's easy. I'll see you in court too. And by the way, you won't be in politics much longer. So when you see these battles going on, those who know and understand at a higher level understand what's at stake. the constituents of those people who are standing for the most foolish, ridiculous, crazy things, they don't understand. It's all a ploy to funnel you to this point. And nobody seems to understand. The smart cities are going to be in liberal areas. But, and it's terrible because they brainwash, desensitize, murder, pillage, and plunder the people in those areas. And then they're going to herd them all into small cities and then rule and reign over them. Now, what they had to do with people like us is they got to turn those people against us because we're the outsiders, and they got to find a way to destroy us. And it goes back to, I can't even talk about it, man. I even got to cut the V word out of all this. But if you go back to the V word situation, when they start talking about the batches of the V word, there were stronger batches sent to red states of the V word. It all was disclosed. People don't get it, man. See, LDW, let's talk about the Illuminati, bro. Yeah, bro, let's talk about the Illuminati, dog. You want to talk about Trump? Let's talk about the Illuminati. Boy, they are not the illuminated ones. I'm trying to tell you. Don't nobody want to listen to me.
That meet on a regular basis to talk about this. It originally stemmed from the People's Movement for Human Rights Learning, and really kind of created a frame for again, human rights in the city.
Creating a frame for human rights in the city. Imagine that. Watch this. You get on a plane. Me and you. We say, hey, man, I'm tired of being in New Orleans. Man, let's go to the New Orleans International Airport, and we going to fly on over to Atlanta. We going to the A. Wait, they do it like, how they do it? They do it like this, and then they do it. However they do it. We going to the Atlanta. Man, we get off that plane, and as soon as we get off that plane, we walk into the airport, and it says, welcome to the Atlanta International Airport. I'm your mayor, James Franklin Williams, and I want you to know in this city, we are a human rights city. And according to our ordinances of human rights, you're being scanned right now. We're scanning your eyeballs, your bum hole, your feet. And if you weigh more than 220 pounds, we charge you an extra fee for using all transportation. And then my big behind walk through the scan and go, bang, 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 bang. You have a $180 surcharge, sir. But I'm in a city. I can't do nothing. I'm in there. Now I'm hungry. I'm a big boy. I'm hungry. Me and my partner, with my skinny partner, skinny boy, big boy. We get to the restaurant and we get to the, come in the door. Bang, 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 bang. What's going on, man? Bro, they only gonna give you a salad. What you mean they only gonna give? Yeah, bro, you gotta eat salad. Man, I want that hamburger. You gonna eat that salad, dog. Yeah, I go get in the line for the hamburger. Like, yeah, I ain't worrying about this civil rights stuff. I want that burger. And then a robot dog walk up, scan me. Sir, you have to get out of the line for the hamburgers. You can only eat salads. Robot, I don't want no damn salad. I want a burger. Sir, your body mass index is this. You can only eat salad. Get away from me, robot dog. You shall be arrested. Then it tased me. I wake up in a jail cell with them stuffing salad down my mouth. That's what you're going into. That's what your life gonna be like. That's what your life gonna be like. Right there. That's what you gonna be dealing with.